Okay, so let's see. We have waiting for 5 people. That's right. Yeah, congratulations, Pranush. I know some of you did very well for oral exam. Yeah, and I'm so happy for all of you. Whoa, Timothy, you got 27 out of 30. How did you do it? Good job there. Yep, really good job. So you must have communicated very well, right? Yeah. So you communicated very well with the oral exam now. I see. 24 to 27. I see. Okay. Amai is here. Right. Good. I'm going to open up last week's tutorial. You know that we didn't complete 2.5 questions, isn't it? We only completed 6A. Yep, so 6B, we have not done it. Most probably 26 or 25. Doesn't matter, end of the day, you know that you can score within that range, isn't it? Okay. And then you also know prelim exam is usually more difficult than the actual PSLE. So there is a very high chance that you can do better. All right. Not just for Timothy, but everybody else also. Yeah, lor. So not to worry. Let's see. Let me open up. Okay. Have a straight face. Oh, yeah. That's the scary part, right? When they keep a very straight face. You don't even know whether they like you or not, whether you are doing the right thing or not, whether you have gone out of point or not. No information. That is the most scary one. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's true. Okay, I will be stopping the chat for everybody, okay? You can continue.
One of my examiners is for Chinese is my mother tongue teacher, but then after that, she keeps on smiling at me, and then all my friends also say, but then the English one she kept a straight face, like what April said.
Right. Okay, never mind. Like what Timothy said, never mind. Don't worry about it. Correct. Well, whatever is over is over. So we always have to move forward. Okay. So if you think you have done well, then you must try to keep up that good performance, right? If let's say you have not done so well, then how do you make your written paper better? Okay, so that's how we look forward. Everybody should always look forward, because if you keep harping on what is in the past, what happened before, not so good, right? Then you are creating your own negative energy. Then you become very worried. What if it affects your performance, isn't it? Okay, so always think positive. You always have the chance to do better. The mind, you look so tired. Okay, anyway, back to this. Last week we stopped at this spring question, right? So I even showed you, how the spring will look like when it's being hung from a support. Okay, so the original spring looks like this, and then the other side, right, over here, this is showing you the spring that has been overly extended. That means we put in or we hung too heavy a weight on it. Okay, so the elastic limit is actually exceeded. You will learn about elastic limit only in secondary school. Okay, so don't worry about what is elastic limit, but you know the spring cannot go back to its original length. Okay, and I told you, right, you can try using your, the pen, the spring in those pen, okay, that you have already finished the ink. So you can take it out and then you try to pull it. Okay, you will realize that it goes to a certain extent, right? It can never go back to the original length. Okay, so this is the reason, or this is the explanation. So original length was 3 cm, right? So there's a 3 cm here, but there is this part I label as the permanent extension. How do we identify the permanent extension, okay, from the experiment? So after you remove all the load, all the weight, all the mass, whatever you can call it, okay, after you've removed all of it, can you look at what is left behind, which is also indicated from the graph, okay? So it's indicated from the graph here. This is where you have the permanent extension. Okay, so if you were to check, the value is 1 cm. So we put down permanent extension, 1 cm. And that will tell us that, after the entire experiment, when we take out all the load, okay, the spring is going to show 4 cm in length. Are we clear about that? Okay, so I think Vinuli, you said you actually did this experiment before, right? So you also look for the permanent extension as well, right? You can identify that part. Okay, so now how do you write down your answer? Okay, you have to put down your claim, which is the final value. Okay, in this case, I will say, oh, it's 4 cm. So why 4 cm? I need to state the evidence and I need to state the reasoning also. So my evidence here, right? After I stated 4 cm, my evidence is, okay, this person, right? This boy overloaded the spring. Okay, and then cause this permanent extension, okay, which is 1 cm. We can see it from the graph, okay? So the new length of the spring will be, the original length plus this permanent extension. That is the deformed length, and that's why we get our 4 cm. So if you can understand this part, right? Writing the claim, writing the evidence, writing the reasoning, you are fine. How many of you are okay with this? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Good. Yes, I can see everybody giving me the thumbs up. Wonderful. Okay, thank you, Rachel. Yeah, Thursday, Brian, Mingla, and that's Matthias, right? Joanne Ong is Matthias. Yeah, let me know. Thank you, Mingla. Okay, so the rest of you, I'm still waiting for your thumbs up. Let's go on. Okay, now, question 7, Stephen. This boy is called Stephen. He actually kicked a ball. Okay, and then the ball flew, right? So there is this diagram that shows the path of the ball after he has kicked it. So how can you tell that along the path of the ball, there is a force acting on the ball? Okay, so along the path of the ball, you can see that the ball is actually, okay, moving, and then it seems to be changing direction. Okay, so you can mention something like this because this is only a 1 mark question. Okay, so talk about the change in direction. That is one way they will be looking out for your answer. Okay, so if you can see that there's a change in direction, good. Right? So your other answers, let me see whether I can retrieve the previous answers. 1 minute. Yeah, I can see it. Okay, the ball is falling as gravity is pulling the ball down. I saw from Avril, the ball is falling. Oh, really? Thank you, Timothy, for telling me. Let me try thumbs up. Don't have leh. Now they never give. No. They never put the emoji for me today. Later on, maybe some parts it will. Okay, some of you got it also, right? So Avril, when you say the ball is falling as gravity is pulling the ball down, okay, must enable, So Avril, that part, right, the ball is falling. It didn't fall immediately. So when you answer this way, right, Avril, it sounds a little bit weird because you are not addressing the part where it is like moving upwards, right? Not. So immediately your answer was the ball is falling. Okay, so you have to be very careful. Avril, are you here? Where's Avril? Suddenly I cannot see her. Oh, very dark, no wonder. Okay, you're waving, good. So Avril, be very careful. The answer that you've written down, right? I saw in the Google Sheet. The ball is falling as gravity is pulling the ball down. Okay, not falling. Say along the path towards, the second, the ball actually rises. As it moves, it rises up to a certain height and then it started falling or it started coming down in the opposite direction. That I can accept and that will be accepted. But you can't say immediately the ball is falling as gravity is pulling it down. Okay, it moved upwards first, right? Then it came down after that. Brian said the same thing, the ball starts to drop when? Okay, so you didn't indicate clearly. Does he say the ball is moving? There is a force acting on the ball. The ball is moving, not good enough. Okay, not good enough because you are talking about kinetic energy. The moment I see moving, it is immediately, kinetic energy that comes to my head. We are talking about the force that is acting on the ball. Okay, so Emma said the ball continued moving and it changed its direction of movement along the path. Yeah, so the same as what I have here. Good. Then Evan says the ball eventually falls back to the ground. I think that sounds good. Okay, because he used the word eventually. He didn't say right from the start. Okay, if he said the ball falls back to the ground, that I will probably give him only half the mark. But he said eventually, so that means the last stage that caused the ball to fall to the ground. Okay, so that will sound better. Let me see. Janelle, the ball is above ground, and when the ball was kicked, it moved upwards. When the ball was kicked, it moved upwards. Janelle's one depends. Okay, let me show all of you Janelle's answer. Okay, so how will this be marked in PSLE? Can you all see this? Okay, so if you take a look at Janelle's answer, right, for 7A, the ball is above ground when the ball was kicked, it moved upwards. When the ball was kicked, it moved upwards. There was a force exerted on it. So this one depends. Okay, it depends along the path. You know why? Because Janelle, are you here? Okay, you take a look here. You are talking about when the ball was kicked, it moved upwards, right? Correct? Yeah, so it moved upwards due to the kick. But how do you know along the entire path, the ball is moving, right? That there is a force that is acting on it. Do you know what they are trying to test you on? They are trying to test you on the gravity, okay? Gravitational force. So you did not mention anything about gravitational force, right or not? So when they talk about, along the path, write down yourself, okay? Along the path, if you have this question paper, you'll quickly go and underline somewhere like this, okay? Along the path of the ball, right? Then force acting. So along the path, they are giving you a very good hint already. They are talking about gravity. Okay, so you have to think of how to address gravity part. So when we are addressing gravity part, remember gravitational force, right, is always pulling everything down, right, not to the ground. So we have to think of that. And how does this ball tells us that gravity is acting on it? It's actually this part here. Okay, it's actually this part here, most obvious because it's moving downwards. All right, yeah, so write down somewhere. Wait, did I show you all my slides? You all hold on. Okay, take a look at my slides here. Then you understand what I mean. Okay, so take a look here. Can you all see? Underline here along the path of the ball. This is a good hint. Okay, they are testing you on gravity. Okay, because along the path, there's a force acting. So along the path, the entire path is from Y to this point, from here to here. So which part tells you there's a force that's really acting on the ball? Definitely the second part. Pranyush, you are kicked out so many times. Poor boy. Pranyush kept getting kicked out. Are y'all experiencing this as well? No, right? I hope not. If you are experiencing this connectivity issue, let me know. Let me see how I can help you. Okay, so back to the, Pranyush, you poor boy. I have to keep allowing you to come in, So I thought halfway, then I have to put you inside again. Then I also lost my train of thoughts. Okay, now let's continue here. Okay. All right. Ayman, this one is definitely not correct. Okay, good. Continue moving and then change its direction of movement. Good. So this one is good. Change its direction on the way. Good.